Hello everyone, TLSG here, back again with another Marvel Snap live stream. So yesterday we had a lot of fun doing the battle mode, just playing against all of you guys, and that was incredibly fun. I can't wait to do something like that again. But today we are going to be testing out and climbing with Plunder Castle being the featured location. So thank you everybody that jumped in early. We have Vulge, we have Christy Gamala, we have Jamie, we have Ryan God, Yellow Snap, Snug, Henrique, Astros, Eric, Q, I'm Hungry 24/7, The Hammer, Venom. Thank you guys, Tone Lock. Thank you everyone for being here early. I hope that you guys are having a fantastic day so far. Ada, Mohammed, what's up guys? I'm so glad that you're here. We are going to be running a little bit of a ramp deck. I found that with Plunder Castle, if you can either force the opponent to not be able to play there, if you can get there, if you can get cards there or sneak cards over there early, you get a lot more value. And so the deck that we're running is one that I featured in the top decks and techs build from yesterday, and it is a Electro Wave ramp spam. We have Venom in chat. We do have Venom in chat. It's an Electro ramp spam deck. And so the idea is that you want to get some value out early. You can either wave to restrict the opponent from playing cards, depending on what kind of deck that they're running. You can also ramp up into an early potential leader, potential Doctor Doom. You can do Magneto, Odin. Devil Dino has some sneaky value here with Nick Fury. I think Nick Fury with Plunder Castle is pretty decent. So even if you don't have a good 6-cost play line, you can play Nick Fury and generate some additional value. And yeah, we have leader in this one. I don't know that he's great. I don't know. He's probably just mid-tier. He could probably be subbed for something else. But I do want to continue to experiment and try to find some good value out of him. Jasper, how's it going? Enrique, how did that meeting go yesterday? It was interesting. It was. I told him that the dentist appointment ran long, so I got away with it. I didn't get fired, but overall, it went okay. Mr. Light Jimmy, unfortunately, I have to go to bed soon. No worries, man. The videos on demand are always here. They're always live. And so if you do, and even if you don't, if you do want to check them out later, they're always here to be able to do that. So we do have Daredevil to see what they're playing on 5. We are going to shuffle our cards in on turn 3. So I think we do wave anyways. Maybe we can draw back into either our Arnim Zola or Odin to re-trigger wave once again. Astro's replacement for Psylocke, Wave, and Leader. For this type of ramp, there's a really cool playline that I like with the Wave in being able to use him, Odin, Arnim Zola to trigger it 3 times and really restrict the opponent. So for this type of wave deck or ramp deck, I don't know that there is a good replacement for Wave. You could get away with replacing Leader for another just good value 5 or 6 cost card. And then Psylocke you could probably get away with as well, just because you don't get a whole lot of value out of her. But I think Wave is pretty pivotal. Leader right after Wave. Yeah, Alan, Leader right after Wave seems good. But, yeah, at the Attilan location, I have lost games because I lagged out of like 2 turns and I came back in for the final turn of the game. So I thought that they fixed it, but it doesn't look like they have. I always start emoting and just clicking on elements, hoping that it clears it up, but it never works. We may, okay, there we go. It does. So we do get the Arnim Zola, which I think is a pretty funny playline. I don't know how efficient it is. You can play Arnim Zola onto Wave to trigger it once again. And then if you happen to have Odin, you could re-trigger your Arnim Zola and you restrict the opponent to basically 1 card per turn for most of the game. Now they do have Zabu, so they will be able to play multiple cards. But I do like the re-triggering of Wave. Can you restart the game when the Attilan bug were to occur? Maybe Ishmael. I haven't actually tried it, but you might be able to. It does happen less than before, Kimmy. That's good because I lost a lot. I lost quite a few cube games to that bug whenever I was climbing for the event. And then me, is leader still viable? he's a lot harder to use. I don't know if viable would even be like a good way to describe it. So their last card was Rock Slide, right? So they're going to copy the Rock Slide. If we do Magneto to the left, we can pull their Rock Slide or Absorbing Man over. They won't have room to do Hawk. We could then try to do maybe Devil Dino in mid or 6-cost card. I think this is going to give us our best bet. Even if they have 2 Hawks that they can play onto the board. Oh, wait. We would need to do Magneto to the right so that New York doesn't become an issue. They could just move cards over. So I guess we'll pull Moon Girl over to the right. Moon Girl or Absorbing Man over to the right. Then that doesn't give us the... Doctor Doom would allow us to get the win. You skipped a turn and got Professor X last night? Yeah, got Professor X. Yeah, it's definitely... it's definitely an issue in some games. What's up, Senior TLSG in chat? It's Luke. Thank you so much for being here. I hope that you're having a fantastic day so far. And Sammy Samurai King, same thing as well. I'm glad you're able to jump in and join us. Emerson, hey, I love your content. I'm from Brazil, and every single day I wait for your content. You're the best. Thank you so much, Emerson. I'm so glad that that you enjoy the content, that you find it value added. Because as a creator, that's honestly really all that I could ask for. So do we think they actually have a 6-cost card?
Hey, welcome. It took you long enough.
They might have a 6-cost card. If they do, it's Chavez, and they would have to play it here. We would win left and right if they play Chavez. Otherwise, we should win mid and right. Yeah, Chavez, we would lose mid, but we would win the far left and right if that's what they play. Alexander, did I miss you, Alexander? I didn't mean to ignore you if I did. And then Sammy Samurai King, thank you so much for resubbing as a channel member. The support is very much greatly appreciated. I hope that you're having a fantastic day, and I'm glad to have you here. We do start off with a win. We restricted them just enough. The Magneto is able to clog up the Gumworks from the Zabu, and we can make some interesting play lines happen. So we'll start off on the positive front. Hopefully we can maintain today. I've been just casually playing. We're up to 80 on this account. I'd like to hit at least 90 for the free gold, but we've been very casually playing it. Ken, do you think Leader is a solid finisher in a Zabu lockdown deck now? It could be. The thing is, it's situational. So depending on locations and different restrictions, it can be really hard to use, even if you lock down the opponent. I think that gives you probably the best bet. So locking them down to maybe 1 or 2 lanes that they can play in, I think may be one of the best utilizations for him. And I think it'll take some experimentation, but I do think he can still find a way to be played. He's just not as polarizing. Kino, back-to-back streams. Yeah, it's actually I think it's 3 in a row. We won't be able to be live tomorrow. I have to work in office tomorrow. Hopefully not as a repercussion. Hopefully not as a repercussion for being late to the meeting yesterday. But I do have to work in office tomorrow, so I won't be able to stream. Malty, is it playable without Psylocke? Yeah, Psylocke is more of a backup game plan. I typically don't use Psylocke all that often. It's just if you don't have one of your other ramp components, it could be decent. I feel like Magneto is way better for lockdown now. Yeah, you can force all of their cards into one particular location. Jacqueline, hey, when will you do another battle mode stream? I don't know. I want to be able to do it for a little bit longer than what we did yesterday. That way we can get through as many people and just really have a good time with it. And so I don't know exactly when that looks like. I'm going to have to figure out when I can do a longer stream. But we may do some just kind of off air. Epic Nate, hey man, just found your channel, just found you and subbed. Been searching for more Snap content and found you. Thank you so much, Epic Nate. I'm so glad that you're here. Hopefully you're having a fantastic day so far. And I'm glad that you discovered or came across the channel. So it's an ongoing ramp deck. I thought about running one of these. It could have Orca as a finisher in Plunder Castle for 14 extra power. I'm wondering if we don't just do something like I'm wondering if we don't do something like Odin here. They may do a Professor X lock. They have initiative. If they do Professor X lock, it'll probably be in Sakaar. Oh wait, Alexander, thank you. I got a work call that I was dodging, and so I missed the Cosmo. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. And then welcome in, Jeremiah. I'm so glad you were able to jump in and join us. Yeah, we're not gonna do it into Cosmo. Thank you everyone that that made sure to let me know. So I think if we pull their cards over with our Magneto, they won't be able to do a Destroyer into Cosmo. That's gonna block them from doing a Destroyer playline. Yeah, chat. It was definitely chat to the rescue. So the Iron Man is tough because if they have Orca, this is a huge play. We're not gonna be able to beat them here versus. Oh yeah. I think this one may be a retreat for them. Chat shouldn't have told him. That would have been good for a short. I'm so glad that you did, because we were able to find a way to win. I'm guessing they didn't have Orca. They were hoping to do maybe something like a Destroyer for that finisher, but we were able to luckily force the retreat. And then Burbus, do you think Wolverine is viable now? So I spent quite a bit of time yesterday after stream and late last night trying to do pro plays calling the retreat, trying to make a Wolverine deck. I don't think he is build around. I don't think he is so good that you just put all of your eggs into Wolverine's basket. But I do think he is definitely viable in a regular destroy deck. If those are in a good place in the meta, then I think they're definitely viable. And I think he's usable because if you destroy him once, that's going to be a 2/4, which is pretty good as far as a standard stat line goes. If you destroy him 2 times, he's 2/6, which is great. 3 times, 2/8, of course. So he has some high roll potential. It's just I don't think you. I feel like a lot of people are trying to force it and force into destroying him as many times as possible, and I don't think that's where he's really going to shine. I think where he's going to shine is just that mid-tier consistency. Pilk Enjoyer, thank you so much for the 5 months as a channel member. For whatever reason, the resubs don't read, but I am glad that you're here, Pilk. It's been quite a while. I hope you've been doing well. I think we do. No, not wave into Shuri's lab. We can do wave into potentially Odin. We can't do it anywhere that we can trigger the Arnhem Zola, unfortunately. Because if we do wave, we won't be able to play into Shuri's lab next turn. I think we'll do it. Play into Oscorp Tower, show the dominance. MD, hey TLSG, do you still have your job after yesterday's meeting? I do. I do. I do have to work in office tomorrow, so we'll see how that goes. But for now, I do still. Everything is still exactly where it needs to be. Oh. Sorry, I had a couple of other work calls come through. And so I'll have to do one here in just a second. Arrow will be funny. What, to yank it over into Oscorp Tower? Is that what we're thinking? We could do Arrow, but then we lose Shuri's lab for sure. How many people at your work know about your channel? As far as I know, none. I mean, maybe some do, but as far as I know, there's not any. Hopefully no one from work is a TLSG livestream viewer. Yeah, that's true. That's especially whenever lunch runs a little bit long. Those days, I'm really hoping that nobody knows about my channel. And then what is your day job? My day job is I'm in data analytics. So I take and I build queries for different systems, different processes, and I make it or converted into a way that's like easily digestible for our leaders. Is Arrow like like one of the best best counters in the card game? I think it is. I think Arrow is one of the most flexible, especially being at 7 power. You can block so many strong combos from the opponent that now that people have realized how to make her work, I think it's incredibly powerful for a card combo. We're going to lock in the Nick Fury. I don't know if we're going to go Odin next turn, Dr. Doom to push into Shuri's lab, or maybe something different depending on what we draw. So they're not going to be able to play into Shuri's lab. Actually, no, I think Dr. Doom is just a win here. For our leaders. Yeah, it's for the it's for the leaders the leaders that have a lot more on their plate, and so they're easily able to look at it and know the status and health of different metrics. So I think Dr. Doom just wins here, because nobody can play into Shuri's lab unless they have some kind of card cost reduction. So I think Dr. Doom will win us Shuri's lab and the flooded location, and then if they do a Dr. Doom of their own, we still win Oscorp Tower. Do they have a death? A She-Hulk. Oh no, we lose Oscorp Tower by 1. The only consistent way was to play Arrow. For Galactus counters, yeah. That's the best counter that I've found as well. And so I'm gonna have to multitask on this one. So we're not gonna get as much commentary. But I have to run one report really quick. For an upcoming meeting that I didn't realize was pending. And so I'll multitask. Usually the chair streams are where I gain quite a few cubes, but it should only take a couple minutes, so 1 or 2 games, and then I'll be back to the normal commentary. Niles, love your videos. Thank you so much. I'm so glad that you're enjoying the videos. As a creator, that's really all that I could ask for. And then King Ero. Is Shadow King out? Yeah, he is. I actually have him on my main account, but I can't find any way to make him good. He's a tech card, so kind of like Scroll, where he's good in some games, but most of the time he's just not going to be very good. And so we used Wave on 2 with the extra energy from Tinker's Workshop, so nobody's going to be able to play a card here. We kind of just locked them out of this turn, just for the fun, just for the fun of it, to make them miss their turn. We'll be able to ramp into an Arnhem Zola so that they're only able to play 1 card on the final turn of the game, and then I think that'll be a pretty funny playline. We're all right with the snap. Can She-Hulk fit into this deck? Yeah, after seeing them kind of destroy us the last couple of rounds with She-Hulk, I'm thinking there might definitely be a spot for it. Hydrix, random question, but what do you think of Mephisto? I think as he currently is, he's going to be fun to use in a negative deck. But I don't know how. I don't know. Because to my understanding, MMR works where if you gain cubes, you gain MMR. If you lose them, you lose MMR. So I think it becomes a problem, kind of like we see for like bot matches, where it inflates the cubes gained. So you're gonna have more cubes come into the game than you have leaving, and I think that might pose a potential issue. Is Odin ever the play here? It puts 8 here and here. We could do Devil Dino, which would be 10, 13. I'm hungry 24/7. So how you send one of these? Oh, so that's how you send one of these. Thanks, Pilk. Is that the resub chat? Welcome back as for another month. I'm hungry 24/7. I'm so glad to have you here. It's 13 power in Xandar, and so then it would come down to where they push their power, which they would actually. I don't think they ever waste their Mjolnir here. Do we think 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 13 power? We might be able to overcome them in the Tinker's Workshop. I don't think they risk Danger Room either. They could have a Dr. Doom, which we would lose to. I mean, we could do leader, but it doesn't give us initiative in either of these. Okay, so they move their Nightcrawler over. Oh, so we do sneak the win. Nightcrawler loses 1 power from Xandar, so we win left, we win mid. Wow. We'll take it. We will take those. Have you done a video on the most efficient way to gain collection level? There's not a whole lot you can do to really influence it. Right off, upgrading your common, so your gray cards up 1 is twice as efficient as upgrading anything else. Anything else, it's the same ratio of cubes to collection level gained. And so from there, it's just gaining boosters, completing your daily missions, your weekly missions, and just making sure that you're completing all of the like things that you can get free rewards from, that you're completing those each day and each week. I can work and stream at the same time, but not as well. I don't like to do it. Let's see. I do have to finish this really quickly, and then I'll be back. I need to just do it. So we'll put a couple of our cards into Eternity range. We do have Electro to ramp, so if we get something like Arrow, we can pull their cards on 4. If we get Wave, we can trigger it at least twice with our Arnim Zola, which I think will be pretty good value added. And then we have Nick Fury, so we can generate some additional 6-cost cards in our hand to potentially buff up a Devil Dino, potentially give us just a good out. We're up against another Thor. If we can draw into Wave, that's one of my favorite play lines, is to just Wave lock them, which it's we do draw into Wave, which is not as efficient as it used to be with card reductions like Zabu and Sarah being so common. But you can really make things difficult for your opponent by really restricting what they can play. So 3 cards like Wasp are now a liability instead of just adding to their game plan. Yeah, so many Thors today. Roy, I enjoy your streams and contents. I appreciate it, Roy. Hopefully, that's really all I could ask for. I mean, we're all playing a game. I don't think I'm like at a different tier than anybody else. So we lose sometimes, we win sometimes. I don't want anybody to get nervous whenever they face me. So if anybody is ever worried about like popping up in a video, I don't want to talk bad about them, because it could have just as easily flipped the other way. I don't think it's yeah, I think it's just, I don't know how I would want to like be treated if I got beaten down really badly in a video. I'd like them to at least be kind about it and not just kind of like gloat or rub it in too much. Okay, so they play Magneto far right. It's not going to pull anything over. I mean, we could get leader value here. I I like to wave lock. I like the wave lock for sure, especially since we know they have Mjolnir. But I also like the leader playline to get leader value. We could copy the 12 power from over into the right. 11. We would lose this lane though. So I think we're gonna go with the cheekier playline. We're gonna do Arnim Zola instead. Leader isn't loser. I don't know. He might still be. The jury's out. We still don't know for sure. And then somebody said, "Is there any more plans to do viewer stream or viewer matches?" I definitely want to do more of those because it was incredibly fun. Just having that game mode and having that possibility opens up so many different things for like community matches and just just and just fun things in general. Actually, Wave may have been the losing play there. Magneto would pull their Thor and Jubilee, so it pulls 5 out of this lane. So we might win left lane at it. Because it would just... No, it would leave 8, right? We only have 7. Fail. And then 5 only pushes us up to 13 here. We lose there. That one's gonna be a retreat. We're gonna take it. I am almost done with this report, and then I'll be able to be back to a normal stream, so I can interact with you guys a little bit more, play a little bit faster. I apologize. Most of the time, I can have this time blocked off, but every once in a while, a request comes through that's a little bit more important, or a little more time sensitive that I have to jump in and complete. We'll stream a little bit longer today than we normally do to make up for it. I'm almost done, guys. I apologize again. I try to get everything organized so that this doesn't happen, but there are some times where it just can't be avoided. And it's something that's only going to be just a quick second, and then we'll be done. We'll be back to our normal stream. Just confirm. Okay, so we get the Nexus, which we have Arrow. We could pull their cards away. Doxter, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. And then Roy Stecky, thank you so much for the super chat. The support is so greatly appreciated. It's just I couldn't ask for more. You guys are the best community that I could have ever imagined or asked for. I couldn't imagine just a better support team by my side. So I think we play Devil Dino. We can then on 5 pull their cards out of the Nexus with our Arrow. Maybe on 6 we do either Leader or we do Odin to re-trigger Arrow again, so that we can pull them over. Wisco, I'm working from home too. All good. Yeah, and it's one of those things that, especially when you're working from home, you don't want there to be major delays, especially on like critical projects, because it could always get canceled. And I really enjoy working from home, and so it's what allows me to do our lunch live streams, do some of our content, and just be able to interact with you guys a little bit more than if I was working in office. And so, let's see. And so they're pushing a lot of power into Machine World. We could do Arrow here to pull their cards over, which I think might be our good play line. Muhammad, what got you into making YouTube videos? So, quite a while ago, I dabbled in like making YouTube videos, doing content creation, and it was just something that I put a lot of time into and didn't get a whole lot of return out of. And so eventually I gave it up just because it wasn't something that was working out incredibly well. And then I put it down for probably 6 years. And right before this game came out, I was playing Hearthstone, just content, just playing the games. And then I saw this game. As soon as I saw the gameplay, it was like so intriguing. It was something so incredibly different that felt very, very fun to play. And so from there, does She-Hulk get shadow nerfed? I don't think so. But from there, I signed up for the beta. Once I jumped in, I realized I wanted to share the experiences that I was having. I didn't expect for the channel to do as well as it has, or I don't know what I expected, but it definitely wasn't this. But I am very fortunate that with all the success, with all of you guys and all the support that I've had, that this content creation journey has been as successful as it is. Because it's something that I had to learn a lot along the way. If you ever get bored, you can go back to some of my earlier videos, and they were very quiet, very like poorly paced. It was just like the editing process, keeping a cohesive thought, and just making sure that there was good value all the way throughout was tough. And it's something that if you are ever considering content creation, the hardest step is jumping in, learning from there. Don't go in expecting for things to go viral. I still don't expect my videos to do just incredibly well. When they do, I'm very fortunate. But it's all about learning, taking in feedback, being open to feedback, and just making sure that you're enjoying it, I think is the biggest piece. Vicho, I was there since your very first Snap video. One of the first Snap channels I subbed to. Vichito, you're amazing. You stuck by through some rough content. There were some that were like 50 minutes long because it was just so much like slower paced, a lot more like in-depth thought process, probably talking through some of the same things multiple times. And so, Vichito, I appreciate you for hanging in and just being there for the early days. So Altar of Death is interesting. We could play Electro and ramp up. I still like the wave play line. It's probably not the best play line, and we have another Thor. I don't know why we're seeing so many Thors today. We have another Thor. I like the Arnim Zola play line, though. We're going to do it. We're going to try and restrict them as much as we possibly can. Jordan, you said, honestly, your success is due to your charm, my guy. Your personality is very infectious, and you don't make your viewers feel dumb like other content creators. Yeah, I don't think there's any value in that. Like, you guys came to the channel for a reason. I'm just glad that you enjoy the content. And if I'm able to provide, any kind of clarity or information that is value added, there's no reason to make people feel less for any reason. A 50-minute TLSG video, sign me up. I don't know. There were long pauses, and like there wasn't nearly as much like editing or cutting down to make sure like the plays were a little bit quicker. And so it was a lengthy journey. If you want to, they're still there. You can jump over and check them out. But I don't know. If I did it now, it would have to be like 10 or more games. Those, I think there were still only 5. I talked so much through them. Are you thinking about playing other games on stream? I think eventually maybe Kappa. The beard got me to sub. Minos, thank you so much. I think eventually I might do some variety stuff, but it would have to be something that I'm definitely like really interested in. We could do, I don't know if that there's a good play line. The Giganto, this looks like a Lockjaw rotation, just without the Lockjaw so far. And so they have a lot of power and a lot of value out on the board. Me, it was right at the start of each game. And I don't even know when I started that, but it's just something that just kind of started happening, and then I leaned into it. What do you think about taking sponsored streams if other game developers reach out? Jeremiah, so I've had a couple reach out for like your standard mobile games. For those, I want it to be something that I really am going to enjoy. And so, because whenever I started the channel, it wasn't about money. It wasn't about and I want that to continue. It wasn't like for the first like 3 months I didn't really make anything from it, and I want that to continue and maintain over the course of the channel. And so sponsored streams I'd be open to, but I'd also be very picky about. And then also, in addition to that, sponsored streams on YouTube streams are a little bit weirder than Twitch. Like, it's a lot easier to switch over to like just any game. So Raid, you could have it tagged as Raid, and then midstream you can switch it to Marvel Snap and be fine. Any tease for the Binks collab? So Binks is always a tricky creator, tricky deck builder. I have a way to make it, I think, pretty interesting. And we've both been doing videos for a very long time, and so we haven't discussed any details yet. We do have something set up where we can jump on a call and kind of talk through what we want to do. But knowing Binks, it should always be something very entertaining. Volge, I'm still waiting for the Cerebro challenge. I want to do the Cerebro challenge, especially seeing others be able to do it in like a couple hours. Binks versus TLSG, Agatha versus Agatha. Who can build the best Agatha deck? I'm happy to sit through a raid ad on your videos if you're getting paid good for it. Predmo, so like, and that's something I'd be more open to than sponsored streams. Sponsored streams, it's so dedicated to that game, and if it's not something I like, is really resonates with me, not necessarily that I like or don't like, but if it's not something that really resonates, I don't want to push anything on you guys that I don't really enjoy. And so for a full stream, it'd be a little bit tougher, but for like an integration spot where I just kind of where we have a sponsor for that particular video, I'd definitely be open to those. So they have us beaten in Plunder Castle, so I think we no sellouts here. I don't want to do it just because I'm like, oh, that'd be a lot of money. I want to do it because it's something that I think would add value to you guys. But I have had some different people reach out, and I haven't ever finalized anything. I've kind of bounced back and forth, but at the same time, it has to be something that I do enjoy. If you get Yu-Gi-Oh sponsorship, I don't mind. I think those would be a little bit more rare. There'd have to be some kind of like big update. But yeah, I think a Yu-Gi-Oh sponsorship would be pretty fun. I would get so overwhelmed with like a turn 1 defeat. They'd be like, I play this and then combo with this, and it's so much different than the Yu-Gi-Oh that I remember. That it'd be fun, but I think it'd be tough. We always lose this one, right? The Infinite is going to be very tough to overcome. We would have to do something really big in the Plunder Castle lane, and we just don't really have one of those. Since we've already taken the extra cube snap from them, I think we're going to play Nick Fury and just hope for a good buyout. And then, Mohammed, you said I saw you on Cozy's channel for that one content creator video. I think the collaboration scene in Marvel Snap will be hype. Yeah, I'm really excited to be able to do some. Like, my schedule is really tight, and it's tough to schedule those. So, yeah. And so working around the different schedules is what's been the biggest challenge, but I do think it'll be really fun. Just, we have a really big and just good community overall that I think the collaboration scene will be really big. And then Minos, thank you so much for joining as a channel member. If you refresh the stream, you'll get access to our current list of emojis. As we get more channel members, that list will grow.
Hey, welcome.
And so I appreciate you being here. I hope that you enjoyed the stream and continue to enjoy the content. We could do a Hail Mary here. Obviously, just play Destroyer and Plunder Castle to show dominance. I mean, we could, but we have a slight chance of being able to win here, right? If we push the Devil Dino over to the left, we can beat them in Hellfire Club. We can win in Plunder Castle potentially. Transformer Snap would rob me blind. So like a snap type game, but for do it. We're gonna lock it in. Oh no. So the Magneto play. Do we still have a chance? That's the one we needed. I don't know that it's enough in the right lane though. No, we miss it by 1. Oh, that's unfortunate. Jeremiah, I'm expecting probably a Magneto right. Oh, I just called it. Yep, you called it. Star Wars Snap would be cool too. Jaguar, what do you think of Valkyrie? Alexander, are you still here? Alexander is a really big Valkyrie player, and it can be really tricky, but I feel like it's hard to build around or use consistently. I think Alexander is one of the ones that has used it the most efficiently and has beaten me down with it a couple of times. But for me, it's hard to use. It's not one that I can just easily plug into a deck and know it's going to perform well. You have to really think around that play line. I got a dream match this morning, playing with my new toys, and they retreated before I could play the 256 power Panther. Ah, you had the setups, the Spider. We actually bought Shadow King on our main account, and there's just no good way. He's a tech card. I couldn't find a good way to build around him. Have you tried ramp with Orca? I'm one of the unlucky ones that got him and finding him great with this location. Soneka, yeah, I thought about using an ongoing deck with a ramp component for Orca. I thought this was a little bit funnier of a playline, but it might be good to do like a ramp and take out leader and put in Orca. That may be a decent play. I think since we're not going to flood the board, we play Wave into Mojo World. We use Arnim Zola to push it to the left and right. We can always use Arrow to yank their cards around the board towards the later parts of the turn, depending on what we draw into. Imagine living Tribunal Panther with Wong. Oh, to completely block their hand, right? Because the Living Tribunal is the one that gives them sentries, right? Ryan God, does Shadow King only work on the lane he's played in? Yeah. It is only in that particular lane. And how does he work with ongoing cards? The same way that Valkyrie does. So he sets them to their base power, and then from there, they still have their ongoing abilities, and so they still get buffed up. So it can be good for like last turns against Silver Surfer, or last turns against Shuri plays potentially. But finding a consistent way to use it, a lot of times I found that I would be just as well off playing a Shang-Chi or an Enchantress versus Shadow King. And so he can also get some value from like Thors or Sunspots, but it's hard to use consistently. You're using the Heimdall ramp, but with Orca instead of Giganto. Soneka, I think that's a pretty good one. You have the ability to like maneuver your cards, shove them over into that lane, and do some pretty cool things. And so I think the Heimdall ramp could be pretty good with Orca with this location. So how do we want to play this one here? We have the second wave. We can do leader to try and copy what they play in the raft. We can use arrow to try to pull it over into Mojo World, but we're already losing the raft, so we need some power there going into the last turn. We could do Nick Fury to generate some additional 6-cost cards, but I think I'd rather do Devil Dino to gain the lead in the raft, and then we might be safe playing a leader to copy what they play into the raft on the last turn. What's the best sub for Daredevil in this deck? So Daredevil just gives you some insight. He's not He's not great. Arrow mid would be decent, but then we still have to worry about the last turn play. And so we would have to make sure that we outpower them in the raft on the last turn, and I don't know that we can do that. So I think the Devil Dino is going to be a little bit more value for us here. How does Zola wave work? So once Zola hits wave, whenever Zola hits a target, the On Reveals will re-trigger. And then Jeremiah, thank you. I lost my train of thought. But Scorpion would be pretty decent for Devil Dino. It adds good disruption at good early tempo, and Daredevil honestly is just it's like a crutch. It helps you in some games, but most of the time it's not needed. Shuri Hobgoblin is probably the play that hurts the most whenever I get played against me, especially if it's into like Shuri's Lab or something and it's like -32. Always hurts to see. And so they did play their Devil Dino in mid. I'm not sure why they pushed for Mojo World, knowing that the number of cards played were relatively restricted. But we'll take it. We'll take the few cubes here and there. Maybe we need to play a little bit more aggressively. We're getting a lot of retreats. And so if we played a little bit more aggressively, maybe we can find some additional cubes. Waiting for Absorbing Man to pop up in my shop now that he's Series 3. Yeah, so I think Absorbing Man is another one that I feel like can be a trap in some decks. Absorbing Man, when he gets good value, it's great. So like with Zabu, using him alongside a Spider-Man can give you really good and consistent value. But I think in general or overall, a lot of times he could be a dead card in your hand if you don't have a very specific reason for him. So I think he's another one that's a little bit trickier to build around than people probably give it credit for. My biggest dream is Zabu Wong plus Shuri on Onslaught Citadel and playing a massive Cosmo. Gotcha. Jeremiah. In Jeremiah, we will trust. Called the Magneto play. Always make sure that we don't misplay. I do like the ability to ramp, lose the Electro, and then we're going to get 2 Hulks out of it. So I think we'll get some good value here. Yeah, Absorbing Man I've only seen useful in Zabu decks. There's a few like niche uses for him. So like in a Silver Surfer deck, he can be decent if you extend the game with magic. But at that point, he can be a liability in your deck. So instead of it being a guaranteed value, some games he's just going to tank. And then Jeremiah, how did your meeting go yesterday? It went. It definitely went. Not incredibly great, not incredibly poorly. Arrow to the right? Wait, we can't do arrow to the right. Plunder Castle. Arrow to the left? Is there an optimal turn to snap on if you're confident? So it depends. Actually, we won't. Hey, Todd English, welcome. It's been a very, very long time since I've been able to see you and interact with you. Thank you so much again for the gifted. You're continuing that generosity train. Thank you so much for the gifted subs.
It took you long enough.
Well, at least you didn't get fired. Yeah, I didn't. I didn't get fired. I thought about Fury, but
hey, welcome.
I think Arrow's decent because he's a decent Arnhem Zola target. Because that's going to pull whatever they play, I guess, out of the vault, and we would lose the vault.
Hey, welcome. It took you long enough.
And then Todd English, thank you so much again for the gifted memberships. So Snug, it looks like you grabbed one. We have
hey,
Jet.
Welcome.
We have
it took you long enough.
Lois. We have Hockey, John, Alex, Forsyth, Zach Gree, and
hey,
Primo.
Welcome.
If you guys refresh the streams, you now have access to our current list of emotes. And would Odin into Arrow prevent Spidey or Shang-Chi? It would. Because we have initiative, so it might pull them over.
Hey, welcome.
Yeah, Todd is a legend. And so can't stay, just saw you were streaming and haven't seen you in months. Have a great stream. Thank you so much, Todd. I appreciate the generosity once again. I hope that you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I hope you've been doing okay. Because it has been quite a while since we've been able to see each other or link up. So we have value in Gamma Lab. If they have Shang-Chi, then that does hurt us a bit. Do we ever do something like a like an Arnim Zola. We could do Arnim Zola here, and here. Then they'd have to play a Shang-Chi, which would make sure they couldn't play into the Plunder Castle. I think they probably retreat, because they did say I'm losing. No, they don't. Yeah, I like Zola mid. That makes sure and locks in the vault, even if they do something kind of crazy. And then Dr. Doom is not going to give them enough value for it. No way I caught a stream live. Love your videos, TLSG. Going to work now, but I had to pop in and say hi. Liam, thank you so much for popping in, even just for a little bit. It is something that I'm trying to do a little bit more consistently, because we broke the consistency for a while. There were a couple of mental barriers that I had to overcome, and it just kind of got to a point where it was tough to launch a stream. But now we're back in the groove of it. This is the third one in a row. And so tomorrow we're not going to be live, but after that, pretty much every weekday I'm going to be trying to do my lunch live streams again, because they're incredibly fun. I love interacting with you guys. It's a little bit easier than doing it through the comment section. And so yeah, I'm glad that you were able to catch us, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. I guess to make a long story still long, but a little bit shorter. Two Plays, how's your day going? My day's going well. So far, I didn't get fired yesterday for being incredibly late to the meeting. So that's definitely a positive, definitely a plus. And so, if we happen to draw into our Odin, the play line I'm thinking is wave here. We can do Arnim Zola on 4. If we draw into Odin, we could do that over here on 5. And we push power into the Plunder Castle. And so actually, with the Yondu, they may be doing a death wave. Oh, let's see. Did I add those 4 cubes from the last game? I don't think I did. Yeah, remember to always... oh yeah, so the Rainbow Pit. Thank you so much for the message. So if you're viewing and you want to be eligible for gifted subs, up along the top where it says top chat, if you click on the gift icon or the gifted icon that's there right now, you have to click on allow. For whatever reason, YouTube doesn't allow you to get subs just by default. And so if it is something you're interested in and you potentially want, make sure that you allow them so that whenever gifts come through, you have a chance to grab them. Oh, how they can put power into Plunder Castle? Yeah, that's true. They could still have like a Magneto though on the last turn. Oh well, no. If they use wave, they wouldn't be able to do it. Yeah, we're still gonna go with Arnim Zola. I like the cheeky wave interaction. Ooh, so they tried the leader. And so somebody asked, is leader still viable? I think honestly probably not. But I do want I wanted to test them out, see if there's any way that we can make it happen, make it possible. But I think honestly probably not. Need to find the limit to the lateness. Yeah, we need to like push that barrier just enough, but not enough to get in trouble. Bichu, you might be right. Shang-Chi leader being the play in mid at the end of the last game could have beaten anything that they played. But I think we were in a really good spot in that last game. Momo, hey TLSG. Oh, it jumped so much. I'm no longer a leader enjoyer. Yeah, Momo, I'm getting there. We're getting there very slowly, but we're yeah. I feel the same. Is Hawk worth buying? I just got 6,000 tokens. The only other Series 5 cards I have are Black Panther, Shuri, and Silver Surfer, and Zabu. Hawk is strong. But I don't know that. I honestly think Shuri is a little bit better of an enabler. At least for me. I don't know. I don't know that. I don't know that I would. I guess it depends. If you enjoy the rock Zabu style of deck, then you're gonna get plenty of play out of him. But I think it's. I don't know. I enjoy the Hawk. But I honestly don't use them as much as like a Zabu or Shuri. Shuri I use much more than any of my other Series 5 cards. So I think if we Dr. Doom here, it will swing the Baxter Building depending on what they drop next turn. This is only 2 costs for them, so they'll be able to do a She-Hulk. for pretty cheap. Maybe we do our leader into the Avengers compound on the last turn to win Plunder Castle and Baxter Building. I think we may get some leader value here. Prince Bay, Justin, any idea why the Electro ongoing ability stays? But I don't think it actually stays. So I think it's a graphical error or a graphical
It took you long
glitch.
enough.
So right now we're winning Baxter Building and Plunder Castle. As long as they don't have, a sneaky like 6-cost Magneto, which would pull our wave over and would actually be okay. And they can't She-Hulk to the right. Okay, yeah, we do get it. Leader mid can just beat the She-Hulk mid. It's true. That's true. Leader mid may have been the play there. It's one of those things that I have to rethink how we use leader, and you have to be a little bit more strategic on his value. Te quiero mucho, TLSG. Moises, I'm very rusty on my Spanish is like very my Spanish knowledge is very small. But I know mucho is much. Te quiero, I don't know. I can't. I'm overthinking it. Just like our play, I'm overthinking it. Moises, I hope that you're having a fantastic day so far. I'm glad that you were able to jump in and join us. G Spencer, hey TLSG, just wanted to say I appreciate you and your content. I'm glad you time to yourself to maintain your well-being, and I'm happy to see you back at it. Hey, awesome. Thank you so much, G Spencer, not J Spencer. Thank you so much, G Spencer. Yeah, it was something that I really needed to work out. It wasn't, I don't know, it was just like a mental block, almost like a creative or creator block. And it was just so hard for me to go live because I want to like maintain those positive vibes, and I didn't know that I could consistently do it. And so I waited until I was able to make sure that I could give you guys a good experience. Prince B, it's just a graphical error, and if I send it to my opponent after on reveal, the opponent can still play. Right. So they can still only play one card because it's the ongoing ability, Prince B. So, take a lot of care. Take a lot of CF care. Maybe I don't know any Spanish. Maybe. It could be. Yeah. I'll look up quiero, which is one that I used to know, but it's been so long since I've used my Spanish knowledge. Some live wholesome TLSG streaming. Aizen, thank you so much for jumping in and joining us. Any thoughts on Nimrod? I think Nimrod is going to be very fun to play. I don't know. I think he's going to be a very fun card to play. I think there will be some cheeky ways to use him that's going to create a shift in how we counter cards. And so like I think countering movement. So I think it'll help Galactus. Yeah, this one looks like a retreat, but we were gonna play it for this last turn just to see if maybe we got something, but we don't. Arrow, Nick Fury, none of them are good value. We're gonna retreat out of this one. TVA is not great for ramp games. But Nimrod I think will be good in like Galactus decks, in some kind of destroy decks. Maybe it makes Null viable because you can destroy him and just get so much value. So like a destroyer can add so much value onto the board other than needing to like lock down your lanes. So I think Nimrod's going to be very... Yeah, I think only Doom would have been played. But it wasn't. Yeah, I don't think even Doom would have helped us win there. It would have snuck us the middle lane, but I think we would have lost overall. But I think Nimrod will be strong, not Zabu or Silver Surfer strong, but I think he'll be stronger than MODOK. And then Seto, what other games do you play? So I don't play anything else consistently right now. I used to play a lot of, I've dabbled in things over the years. So I've played a lot of League of Legends, Legends of Runeterra, Hearthstone. I played Yu-Gi-Oh for a little bit. Whenever I was younger, I played RuneScape before it became RS3 and before they came out with old school RuneScape. I played that for too many years of my life. I've played World of Warcraft. I've dabbled in a lot of games, both online and offline. So like Dark Souls 3, Call of Duty. I've pretty much any big game I've dabbled in at least a little bit. 1405, where are you from? So I'm from Texas. Jeremiah, you responded to Wise Fury in this deck. So he gives Dino value, and sometimes he's going to give us a card that is going to be a great value in Plunder Castle. Most of the time he's just for Dino value in case we're going with that playline. But most of the time he's just a decent 5-cost drop, and if we ramp into him, he's a good turn 4 drop that gives us a lot of options and kind of avenues to play. What lane did you play in League of Legends? I mained jungle. So I played League of Legends pretty heavily when Ivern first came out, and before that. But that was the last time that I really played it very heavily. After that, I got a different job and I was working too many hours to really consistently grind and climb. And so then after that, I dropped it. Did you play Arena of Valor? I haven't. I haven't dabbled in that one. What nerf do you think Zabu is going to take? I think, I don't know. I think either making him more in line with maybe Sarah, so an increase in cost, or a reduction in the amount that it reduces. So solo or troll lane only. Jungle is king. I enjoyed jungle just because I could impact the game. So like top sometimes felt like an island. ADC, a lot of times you're relying on your support, and then mid, I just got tanked in mid by people that were more skilled than I was, and so your support main, that was the one that I ran second because you can impact so much from being a support. So that was what I dabbled in like as my alternate. So I liked running Blitzcrank just because I was lower elo. I wasn't like high end, and you could get a whole bunch of like cheeky pulls off. But overall, I don't think he was the most consistent. I ran a lot of Leona, Sona, and I'm drawing a blank. It's the like mermaid one that uses the wave bubble. I'm drawing a blank on her name right now though. So we're tied in the right lane. We're winning Plunder Castle. We could do Odin that wouldn't give us the lead in Necrotia though. It would give us some extra value over to the left. Nami, thank you guys. Thank you, chat. You think Magneto left? That would pull their Polaris out. That would pull that out. We would still lose Necrotia though. We would win the Isle of Silence off of it. So unless they have a 6-cost card, that might be the play. Ooh, maybe it's not. Okay, so they arrow. Oh, we lose because of the Polaris pull. Oh no, that was unfortunate. James Cypher, what part of Texas are you from? I'm near the Houston area, so I'm about 20 minutes from Houston. And so very small world. It seems like there's a lot of people that pop in my stream, and it could just be like because it's close that we see it. But there's always a surprising amount of people that have either been to the area or nearby the area anyways. Have you heard of TFT then? Baba, yeah, I have. I played that whenever it first came out. And then I dropped it for a little while, and by the time that I picked it back up, so much had changed that I couldn't. By the time so much had changed that I didn't know the builds, I didn't know the item combinations, and it was just yeah, it was tough to take everything in and still try to be competitive. And so I picked it up for a few games, probably a year ago, and then dropped it again pretty quickly. Hulk is greater than Magneto in some cases, Soneka, but other cases it could clump all of their strong 3 and 4 cost cards together But yeah, there are a lot of times that it backfires. Ooh, I haven't seen the Sauron variant yet. So this is probably going to be a game where they're going to have some really strong plays. So an arrow could help us win this one. But I think overall it's going to be a tough one. You going to do a 1v1 stream with chat again? Maxence, I want to. I want to be able to do one where I can commit quite a bit of time. And so I don't know exactly when that will be, but once I figure out that time and date, I'll make sure to make a post in the Discord and make a post on YouTube so that we can get as many people in as possible, because it was incredibly fun. I really enjoyed the stream and just being able to play with everybody. So maybe if we Odin to the right, they're not going to be able to play. I mean, they could skip here and do 2 cards. But maybe if we Odin to the right, we can spread our power enough that we can find a way to win. And in general, Sauron Shuri decks are just really, really strong. And then Prince B, thank you so much for the reminder. Yeah, if you guys enjoy the stream, definitely make sure to give it a like. It helps the algorithm. It helps it reach a wider audience. And so we get the really, I think the only thing that could help us win here. We get the 1 out of 6 arrow top deck. And typically with Sauron decks on the last turn, they could drop like a Taskmaster and an Ebony Maw. And so we should be able to yank everything that they play over into the Triskelion. Yeah, Dante, sometimes we have to believe in the heart of the cards. I'm not going to snap back because I don't want to scare them off, but I think we should win off this. I don't see them playing more than 2 cards. I guess they could have done an Arnim Zola, and that would have done it. Had they went with the Arnim Zola play line, they could have beaten us. But that would have been a 50-50 flip, and I think that'd be kind of bold of them. Yeah, Soneka, hope he doesn't Zola. Yeah, at that point it would have came down to a 50-50, and we're okay risking the coin flip. It's Luke. What other deck would you say is most useful from your video yesterday? So I think just Orca in general, from a ramp component. If you don't have Electro, then Move is pretty decent because you can always shift your cards over. You can do things like Vision. I think the Lockjaw rotation deck is always pretty strong if you can navigate it patiently. I think there's a lot of ways that you can play around this location. But I'd say that either Patriot, if you don't have Electro to do the Orca ramp, or this ramp, maybe the Patriot build or a Move build, or I lost my train of thought. Oh, or whatever other one I mentioned just a second ago. Jeremiah, you said off to bed. Have a great rest of your stream. I hope that you have a great night. Thank you for jumping in and joining us, Jeremiah. I know it's incredibly late for you over there. Would you do a token shop tier list? We could, Seto. If there's enough interest in it, I could definitely do one. I think for me, I would probably put Shuri along the top. She creates so many crazy flexible play lines that you can still play around Arrow. You can play around Shang-Chi's. You can play around counter cards. And just like a 30 power Red Skull is just so incredibly strong in most matches. So in that last match, the only card that would have won it for us was an Arrow, and we happened to grab it. So I think I would put that one at the top of my tier list. She-Hulk is also another one that she went down to Series 3 though. So Series 3, I think she's one of the stronger Series 3 cards if you have some of the other decks to enable her. But you can also pull her if you're close to the end of the collection. Are there any particular ones that you're curious about? I could do a more structured one, like version, if you guys are interested in it. But I think in general, I don't know. I don't know that I'd have to sit and structure it and make sure that I guess kind of plan it out. But if there's any that you're interested in, let me know. G Spencer, I can understand the difficulty of trying to stay positive, not only for yourself, but for hundreds or thousands of viewers. in addition to your daily life off camera. Yeah, and over around Thanksgiving, there were a lot of, I don't know how long you've been a viewer, G Spencer, but there was a lot of like heavy things that came through, and so it was I continued the daily video uploads, but doing a live stream was just a little bit more mentally taxing, and so I wanted to make sure that whenever I came back and did these consistently, that it was going to be able to be from a place of like real positivity. We still appreciate you on good days as well as tough ones. Your effort doesn't go unnoticed. I appreciate it, G Spencer. It's incredibly kind. The Majestic Mango, you said that would be cool for the token shop tier list. And so I can take a look at it, see where I place it. Turtle Assassin, what do you think of Thanos and Galactus as far as tier cards go? Well, so I just yesterday I pulled Thanos on this account actually, and it's the first time I've had Galactus or Thanos. I don't have Thanos on my main account. And so I found him surprisingly fun to use. I don't know. Oof. This one's a tough match. We can do Doctor Doom, we could re-trigger it. Do Arrow to pull all of their cards over and cap them out of this left lane. Then we're competing for left and mid. That might be the play line. I think Arrow into leader might be our best bet here. But for Thanos, I found him surprisingly a lot more consistent than what I realized or thought he would be. And so I'll probably do a video on the build that I have for him. Oh, Arrow into it's too much power. We can't overcome it. Lizard King, go TLSG. Remember me yesterday? You told me that you hope I get She-Hulk soon. Maybe an hour later, I got it. Lizard King, that's huge. Have you tried it out? Have you been having very much luck with it? Turtle King, you said I find Thanos a lot of fun, but tough to climb. So I've actually really enjoyed Thanos, and actually, I don't have the. This is a build that somebody else was working with, and I'll run one Thanos game just because I've been really enjoying it. It's it's one of the top rank players. It's the Human Spider, and so they've been around since beta. They've done a lot of like really cool builds, really strong builds. They really pushed. It was called Wide Wong before Cosmo became a really strong or pertinent counter card, and so. They had a lot of success. They climbed to, I think they said 270 this season with this version of their Thanos list. Where did I save that at? And so I'll run one game of this real quick, and then we'll switch back over to the ramp deck. And we lost that one. It was for 2 cubes, right? I'm doing awful at keeping up with this today. Snug, I've got to go. Thank you for the stream, gang. Thank you so much, Snug. I hope that you have a great rest of your day. And I'm glad that we were able to connect again. Do you think Zabu will be nerfed? Niles, I think he needs to be. I definitely think he needs to be. If he's not, yeah, card cost reduction is just so strong and so polarizing. That I definitely think he needs to be tuned. I don't know exactly how that looks right now, but he needs to be adjusted somehow. I wanted to climb next season with Thanos. I'm at 92 and trying to sneak into Infinite. So the featured location isn't great for it, but I think otherwise it's relatively strong. So we can. Lizard King, thank you so much for joining as a channel member. If you refresh the stream, you'll have access to our current list of emotes, and as we get more members, that list will grow. We'll be able to add in some different emotes, change them around a little bit, and we should be able to continue growing that list.
Hey, welcome. It took you long enough.
Wodar, you said, "Oh my god, I played against this deck before. The first location shuffled rocks into our deck, and their lockjaw never pulled a stone or rock with 5 flips." That is one of the worst locations for this deck. Is Yeah, one of the worst locations for this deck is the rock location, so Subterranea. Other than that, it's fairly strong. Dila, what's up? How's it going? I'm glad you're able to jump in and join us. Jaguar, TLSG, what about making him on reveal to only make the 4 costs in your hand cost 2? Oh, we get so so lucky with the space stone there. So we can either move Lockjaw into the Citadel, because we already have. Oh wait, no, it's the space zone, not the. Yeah, no. Oh, the location shift actually messed with us. We can move our squirrel, but that's about it. Jason, hey TLSG in chat, welcome. I'm so glad you're able to jump in and join us. Ricky, I don't get the new leader. Can you explain it? So the new leader, he only copies the cards played to the right of the location that he's played at. It's a mouthful for sure. But if we play him over to the left, then only the cards that the opponent plays in the middle lane will get copied. If we play him in mid, he will only copy what was played in right. If we play him in right, then we're just pushing 7 power onto the board. Yeah, Wodar, yeah, the location move didn't help us, but yeah, it looked already won because we had the middle lane already locked down. This was a pretty strong lane, and then we could just finish it off with like Blue Marvel and some just value. Or Arrow. Yeah, Arrow on the last turn could secure it as well. Lizard King, seems like leader's kind of bad now. Yeah, I honestly don't think he's going to be very viable. But he will be more of that surprise factor. He's not going to be used as often, so he can be kind of like a Heimdall, where in some games he's going to just have that big surprise factor and can win the game off of that alone. Your Magneto variant looks funny. Does it? And then Dad, welcome back. I'm glad you were able to, you caught us live once again. I think we changed Miniaturized Lab with the Reality Stone. We already can't play much here. It's either that or we lean in with a Vision, but I think we're gonna do the Reality Stone. We'll do Time Stone for extra energy next turn. We'll hold the Space Stone until we want to move something over into Plunder Castle. Shuri works in the featured location. It does if you're leaning into the the Arnhem Zola style play where you can push that power over into that lane. And so I like Shuri just in general. I think she's really strong, just in most cases. Bar with no names, unfortunate. We'll go ahead and play our Vision though. What we're competing for now is probably left and mid because we've already given up right. Thanos should get an animation that keeps track of how many stones have been played. Yeah, something like either like a glowing dot along. I don't know. I agree. Something so you can more easily track how many have been played would be cool for them to add. Valkyrie or Shuri, which should I spend my tokens on? I get more use out of Shuri, but Valkyrie I think is okay. She's just a lot harder to use more consistently. So the way I think of it is Valkyrie is more controlling what the opponent does, whereas Shuri can allow you to do crazy things. And so if you're more in line with doing like counter style plays, then maybe Valkyrie's for you. But I like Shuri just because it can enable me to do so many different things. I don't think we have an incredibly great play here. Maybe there's a play line where we pull their cards over into bar with no name with our Magneto. But I think in general, we're going to have to rely on the Vision to win us one lane, and then we'll look for how we win the other. Ooh, so there is a play line where we use Magneto to pull their 3 and 4 cost cards over into bar with no name. So actually, I think we're in a decent spot here. Because if they Spider-Man lock this one, they're silly. We'll be able to Magneto to the right on the last turn, and I think we squeeze this one and sneak this one out. yeah, and Soneka, I found that Thanos, I don't play Thanos all that often. The value that I get a lot more is from like the draw from the stones and the rotation pieces, but Thanos himself, I most of the time don't use. Thanos is almost legal. he's almost of age. Ever since I've got Shuri, I've climbed so much. Yeah, the Shuri Zero decks are incredibly fun, and just in most games are able to hold up and match up against most things. So they can outpower Silver Surfers a lot of times, and just do some really strong play lines. So they do Spider-Man lock the Tinker's Workshop location. Maybe they're going to try to sneak an arrow into Bar with Name. I don't know what their play line is, but I think Magneto just wins it for us. We'll see. We'll see if it does. The spider, I've suggested a graphic overlay on Thanos similar to the back of a Magic the Gathering card. That would be cool as well, and have each stone that's been played light up there. That'll work. That's what we needed. So I think Thanos is just, he's very flexible. Thanos, the 18 power is great, but a lot of times that's not the play line. Just the flexibility from the different build pieces is what I find so much value out of. Kind words aside, I pulled Galactus in a reserve while recompleting Pool 3 after the downgrades. Any recommendations for which archetype to build around? Ramp, destroy, control, junk? So I guess G Spencer, it depends on what you're pushing for. Prince B, wait, Dark Hawk is only 4 cost? Yeah, he's only a 4 cost card. He should probably be 5 to be more in line with like Ronin or Devil Dino, but he is right now only 4. But G Spencer, what kind of so are you looking for something that you enjoy playing, something that is going to help you climb? I think that is a pretty big factor. Does Magneto take cards based on play order or just random? I think it's just random. From what I've seen, it's just a random play. I eventually got Electro Day. Only 6 card left in Pool 3 now. That's huge. You're almost there, local man. And Electro, having an Electro ramp component today is also going to be pretty big. Dad, Ronan needs a buff. I agree. They temporarily buffed him where he was too strong, but then they nerfed him back in line with where he's just kind of okay. It's not fair that Hawk gets to be 4 and have higher ceiling than Dino and Ronin. I completely agree. So the fact that you can, and I think Ben Brode was the one that shared a tweet picture, and all he said was get rocked, and there was a picture, and it was like Wong, Onslaught, Mystique, and then Rock Slide, and the opponent had like 50 cards in their deck. So like the potential power ceiling is just insane there. And so yeah, I agree. If we had the Reality Stone, I think we could lock them into this whatever they play in the Space Throne, or whatever they play into the Space Throne. We are going to play our Space Stone there, just in case that turns into Plunder Castle. We will probably end up losing the Space Throne wherever that ends up going, but I think it'll help us win the Plunder Castle as a result. Brett, how's it going? I'm glad you're able to jump in and join us. Ronan, hey, I just found your channel days ago, and I love your content. Thanks to all the gods, I reached infinite. Ronan, that's huge. I'm so glad you were able to hit infinite. It's definitely not it's not an easy climb. Oh no, what? Shuffling our cards. It's not the one that shuffles the locations. Oh my gosh. Well, good thing we used the Space Stone so we can move it.
Took you long enough.
Nick, thank you so much for joining us as a channel member. And Lizard, yeah, I think we may switch over to some viewer battles after this one. I think that sounds like a good way to wind down the stream over the next maybe 30-40 minutes. And then Juan, dear TLSG, love your content. First time seeing you stream. Juan, I'm so glad you were able to jump in and join us. Streaming is something that I'm going to be doing more consistently now. And so I'm definitely glad that you, 1, found the stream, and 2, that you're enjoying it. Yeah, they do look very similar. And it took me by surprise. But we are going to be able to move over into Plunder Castle. Maybe we get a good rotation here. I don't know. Oh, wait, we have an whole extra turn, right? We'll be able to play Thanos mid. That's what we'll do. Trick, hi. Really enjoy your content. Thank you so much, Trick, for jumping in and joining us. Hopefully you're having a fantastic day so far. So what happens if you have 2 cards in the space throne? Space thrown, and then does one get destroyed? Nope. If you have 2 in there, so before it reveals or before it changes, then you're able to and allowed to just keep those extra cards there. I think we maybe keep them guessing here. They're probably gonna win. Actually, I don't see a way that we win this one. With the Shuri, they're gonna be able to do like a red skull, something really big, and we're just not gonna be able to match up. We can play Thanos into Plunder Castle next turn, but I don't think that's gonna be enough for us. I've had 2 cards in Space Throne because of Quake. Yep, they just stay there. You just can't add anything additional to it. So what happens if you have... by the way, thanks for all the great daily uploads. Always an awesome time to be here. Justin, 1, great name. That's my name as well. And then 2, I'm so glad to have you here as well. And I'm glad that you're enjoying the content. So I don't think we win this one. A Taskmaster in Space Throne is just more than we can handle. We're gonna go ahead and retreat. We'll take the 2 cube lick. But I do think with that one, we switch over into some viewer battles if you guys want. If you guys are looking forward to some viewer battles, I think we switch over to that for to kind of wind down the stream for a little while. I enjoy climbing. I was leaning towards a build with Daredevil, Green Goblin, and Spider-Man, but can't ignore the power of a discounted death from Destroy archetype if I don't draw Galactus. Oh, so if you're using Galactus, Galactus is, I think, decent, but it's going to be a slower grind. A lot of times you're going to get 1 and 2 cube games versus 4 and 8 cube. But I think Daredevil in a control aspect is pretty decent. And so do you guys want to do some viewer battles, or do you want me to just kind of continue our climb for the remainder of the stream? And then Double Down, thank you so much for joining as a team member as well. I'm glad to have you here. If you refresh the stream, then you'll have access to our current list of emotes. J-Man, does Arrow fit with... There, continue to... I challenge you. Does Arrow fit with Shuri decks? So I actually have one... I don't think it's on this account. I have one with Sauron that I use Shuri and Arrow. That can help you avoid Shang-Chi plays. That can help you avoid like that last turn kind of counter plays, Spider-Man lockdown. And that's been my most consistent deck since I've started running it. It's been about 200 games at about 60% win rate. And so I think Arrow can fit in to Shuri decks pretty well. Viewer battles would be cool. Viewer battles. There's 615. We'll climb a little bit more tomorrow, and we'll try to push a little bit faster. But I think we'll do a few viewer battles. Let me switch over to this. We'll create a keyword, and then we'll be able to do the raffle. So if you weren't here yesterday, we'll be able to do the raffle so that we can make sure that the matches are fair and consistent. Recommended Destroyer deck. I haven't tested too much out with Destroyer since the update. But Seto, I think either a Destroyer lockdown, so something that uses Professor X and armor, is going to be good. Or if you want to go with the hybrid, the Destroyer Spectrum deck, that one's actually a really good one as well. And so let's do... We'll do the keyword is... We'll change it today. We'll do duel as the keyword. If you type duel into the chat, that will enter you into the possible list of users to we'll run the raffle, and then whoever we match up against will create a battle. I'll plug in their code. It'll go off of the honor system so that we can go through and connect with each other pretty easily. And so I'll give it a couple of seconds before we roll the first one. What do you think about the nerfs to Zabu and Surfer? I think it's annoying the fact that they added so cracked cards and then nerfed them. Have they said what the proposed nerfs are going to be? I think they're incredibly polarizing. So Zabu is in something like 20% of decks in post Infinite, which I think is kind of absurd. To have one particular archetype that is so strong and so polarizing, I think it definitely needs to be balanced for the overall health of the game. I do dislike the trend of let's release a card, have it absolutely broken, and then reel it back so that after people buy it. So I think, I don't know, I think there's going to be a middle ground, but I think they definitely need to be balanced. I think it's good for the game, but releasing them as strongly as they were, I think is where the real issue is. You're really giving me a vibe of Charlie Cox. So I've actually heard that several times, and I thought about getting like the red glasses that he runs. And so I think we're gonna roll the first one. The keyword is gonna stay the same throughout the rest of the stream. So the keyword is gonna remain as duel. We're not gonna reset it after each roll. And so if you say it once, that should allow you your entry in from there on out, so that we can roll after each match. And so Tree, looks like you are the first one to match up against us. Why is that white now? Oh, it switched over to the wrong. Okay. There we go. That should be the right chat. Daredevil cosplay. I did think about it. Tree, are you still here? If so, Alexander, Thanos, we got Thanos. We did. We got Thanos. I pulled him from the collection track on Sulky Hulky. Sulky Hulky has all the luck. I've gained in total about 10,000 collection levels since the cards came out, and this is the first Series 5 that I've pulled. What's the code? Yeah, so if you create one and then type the code in the chat, that way it's the easiest to make sure that we're not gonna get we're not gonna have anybody that jumps in or uses the code faster than you can. And so if you'll do create, and then I'll type in your code. You're catching up to Sulky Hulky in collection level? Ryan God, that's huge. Marvelous. Yeah, Sulky Hulky was my free-to-play account for a while. Now he's my Dolphin account, so I buy the season pass just to get the additional chances at Series 5 cards. You kind of look like Daredevil's actor. Yeah, that's I get that quite a bit. And so, best of luck to you, Tree. Hopefully it is an incredibly good match. So I think we're gonna go ahead and play the Soulstone. I don't think I'm a Dolphin account as well. Yeah, it's if you're gonna spend any money in the game, the season pass is just by far the most value that you can get. And so I'm okay with spending just a little bit. We need a Daredevil cosplay stream. I want to make that happen. I get Charlie Cox and I get Jim Halpert from The Office quite a bit, especially as my hair gets a little bit longer. So those are the ones that I get told I look like or resemble the most. Charlie Cox with the Texas accent. Is Shuri and Red Skull deck viable without Zero? I think it can be. I think it can be, but Zero just increases the consistency. So if you don't draw one or the other, then Red Skull by itself with Zero could be strong. We'll be able to do either Blue Marvel or Vision after this turn. I think we're going to play a few of our stones. I don't... We're still new to Thanos. All the stones. Okay, Alexander. We'll play all the stones. If they have a Killmonger and they destroy all our stones, Alexander, this is on you. We do have all the stones, and we get a lot of card draw from playing them. Finally, Thanos will be legal. Any replacement for Thanos on this list? Would love to try it. He's the only card I'm missing. So Thanos really creates this archetype. So the thing with Thanos is that his stones create and generate so much value that is oftentimes overlooked. And so I don't know that there's necessarily a good replacement for Thanos in this one. Oh wait, did any cards move pools? They did. Super Skrull, Shuri, Valkyrie, and Bast moved from Series 5 to 4. Just play any other Lockjaw with any other deck with Lockjaw. Yeah, but Thanos is the star in this one. But any other deck with Lockjaw will perform fairly well. I almost want to rotate some cards, but I'm just going to play Vision. I'm going to play Vision. Next turn, we might do Lockjaw, Armor. If we have a low-cost card, maybe we may do one of those. Season Pass cards are not OP anymore. At least not for 2 months. Yeah, at least the next two. I think Nimrod will be better than MODOK, but at least they're not like game-breaking like Zabu, which we've seen pretty recently. The cube gain isn't half bad. Oh, the 13? Yeah, so we gained quite a few over our climb. The last game we played was a Thanos. It was an 8-cube Thanos win before we switched over. So this deck, I think, is one of the better Thanos decks. It gives a lot of value in games where you might not otherwise find it. So they have a Ronin. And sorry, Jerry, I'm playing really slowly. Vexel, thanks for the reply. I recently got Lockjaw at 1900. Ooh, so I did a build on Lockjaw recently, and it's a Series 3 build, so you might look to see if you have those cards. Don't rotate with Strange Academy. I guess we could have rotated all on the right, but we do have a really strong Thanos that we can use. We have Vision to move. Oh yeah, we're going to lose that one. Maybe we do Vision to the right. We do Thanos. I don't think they'll break their Warpath bonus. They could have Spectrum, which would buff this up 15. It'd bump it back up to 17. But Thanos is going to take away 3. I think we win the middle and the far right lane. MODOK discards your hand. Yeah. So Hela can bring them back, but I think it's going to be pretty inconsistent with Hela. I think there will be some issues with like how strong or like using him consistently, because in that archetype, Hellcow is already a little bit tough to use. So I don't know about Hela. I think he'll be good in like an Apocalypse build, just being able to instantly dump your swarms and your Apocalypse. I think we'll be pretty decent. And I forgot to run the next one. So we're gonna do it the same way that we did yesterday, where we'll do one battle and then we'll jump over into the next one. So I'm gonna go ahead and roll the next user. It looks like Josh is our user. If you haven't entered and you want a chance to match up against me, duel is the keyword, and so then we can do those. And so that was a very good game, Jestry. The Ronin turned out to be absolutely beautiful with how many cards I had in my hand. That was a very, very close one. And then Josh, looks like you are the next one that won the rotation. So if you're still here, if you'll shoot us a message, just letting us know that you're here, you can then create a code, type it in chat, and I'll type it in so that we can match up against each other. Invisible Woman plus MODOK plus Hela is free cards. It is Seto, but I'm always hesitant to use Invisible Woman. Because with Invisible Woman, it's like a Cosmo or Green Goblin or just like a junk magnet. And so I think if Cosmo does not exist, I think that playline is very, very strong. But I think we're going to see a lot of Cosmo here pretty soon. Josh, you are here. Perfect. So if you'll create one, I'll plug in your code, and then we'll be able to jump into a battle. You tried an Angela Beast with Thanos to buffer? I haven't. So I actually pulled Thanos yesterday, so I haven't really had too much time to test it out. Storm is also a big target for Invisible Woman as well. That's true. So like Storm, Clutter, Junk, those sorts of things are all like really big targets. Cosmo doesn't exist. He's a figment of my imagination. Stature will make Black Bolt meta. That and... yeah, I think that and Moon Knight are both going to be pretty decent, but that's going to be kind of scary. I'm excited for it, but it's also a little scary. Josh, are you still here, Josh? I know that you typed here. Did I miss the code come through? Oh, there it is. 23996. Perfect. And then while we are launching to this one, I will roll the next one, so that we can make sure to allow you time to get out of any kind of games that you're in. I'm sure Stature will be busted in Zabu discard, or busted in Zabu discard. Yeah, probably. And then 2-place name. It looks like you're going to be the next one that we match up against. And so, Josh, did you back out of the last one? Laurent, what will be the use of the next season pass if not Hella? So the use for me, I think he's going to be decent in... Oh, well, I didn't mean to do battle ready. I think he's going to be decent in like an Apocalypse discard. Outside of that, there's not much value, but I think an Apocalypse discard will be probably where he finds his home. How do cube works in battle mode? So cubes, instead of cubes, it's health bars. So like if we snapped and then we retreated, we would lose 2 bars. So the typical battle mode is going to be the first one to lose all of your bars of health. And so it still gives that ability to like raise the stakes whenever you're confident. Bro, would you give away Marvel stuff content? Like what kind of stuff? Aesthetic. Fellow Thanos enjoyer. Yeah, I pulled him yesterday, and so far I've been enjoying him. Ooh, and we're going against a fellow Thanos enjoyer. Interesting. So we have double soul stones to be able to use. And each one is going to help us draw cards. So I think we're going to spread it out. We're going to play one left, one right, and be able to draw the cards in. I think the Reality Stone, I'm always hesitant on because it can really make or break your game. And then 2 places. As soon as we finish up this one, we'll jump over into yours if your code is still active. If not, we may have to make a new one. Arrow is avoiding you. 10 series card, 10 series 3 left to get. Hopefully you pull Arrow soon, Joseph. Arrow is such a strong one that yeah. Arrow is such a strong tech card to be able to block things like Galactus and like Wong plays and just some really strong stuff that you can use to break open Arrow. So hopefully you pull her soon. What are your thoughts on the bundles so far? Most of the bundles are very expensive. So if I am just a casual player and I need or want just a little bit more like tokens or credits, right now it's like, okay, then spend $50 or spend $100, which I think they'll make money off of. But I think they would get more people to participate in the bundles if they were more affordable. So like the $5 one that came out. I think that one was a lot easier to swallow than I'm going to spend 8,000 gold or $100 to be able to get the bundle. I'm okay with the bundle packages to help people that really want to push their collection further or faster. But at the same time, $100 is a lot. You don't pull Arrow, Arrow pulls you. That's true. You speak the truth. Ooh, and I do have another meeting coming up in 20 minutes. All right. So we'll rush through a few of these. We have plenty of stones left in our deck, right? We can do Quinjet, we can do Mind Stone to pull, I guess, 2 of the stones out. We can play them for free last turn. Maybe. Do you have a British accent or American? I think it's British. Or not, not British. I think it's American. I live in Texas, so I would imagine it's American. $5 bundle is not getting coffee. In getting that instead. Yep. Which if you enjoy the art, I think is much easier to swallow than $100 that you might not get very much from. That's a lot harder to. It's a lot harder of a sell for most people, I would imagine. American. The data mine bundles for February seem to be a bit friendlier. The only one that I've seen, Ryan God, is the one that's 8,000 tokens, which is a lot. We can't play into Mojo World, so they just win that one. I can play the stones to the right and middle and just hope that we can outpower them in both, which we might try to do. Is it freezing for you guys in Texas right now? It's a little chilly, but it's not. I wouldn't say it's just cold. Aesthetic boy. This is kind of unbalanced. Like the player might watch the live, which can cause them to see your place. That is true. They could. They could very easily do that. but I mean, it's friendly battles. So if that happens, that's okay. I'm not going to be too much of a stickler. I believe that most people are going to, I think most people are going to be much more honest. Yes, they could stream snipe, but if they do, they don't get much out of it. And then let's do a couple more. I am getting blown up with work now. So 2 places. Is your code still active? No, it's not. Okay, new code. Perfect. So we'll jump over. Yeah, if the person playing me wants to do it, that's okay. Like I'm not like I don't support it, of course, but yeah, you should probably get to work. Yeah, we're getting a lot. Let me do this battle. We'll do one more. They get to brag that they beat TLSG. Yeah, which I mean, it is okay. I'm okay with losing. And honestly, I think most of the time people are going to be a little bit more honest. If there was something at stake, that's where I think it becomes like a question of like maybe some less honest things happen, but I think for the most part, good people are good. We're going to play, I think, our Mind Stone. We don't want to leave the risk of having too many things pulled over into Fisk Tower. I also don't think we're necessarily going to compete or win at the Eternity range. Mind Stone will let us draw into some additional cards, and then we can start locking or rotating them with our Lockjaw. -4 and colder with wind here in Wisconsin today. Yeah, it's definitely colder there than it is here. Like it's just the low. I think it's below freezing, but it's like just barely below freezing. Juan, gotta go. Great finding the stream. Have a great one. Thank you so much for joining us today, Juan. I hope that you have a great rest of your day. And hopefully we'll catch you in the next one. Sasuke, TLSG in chat. Oh my god, we're positive cubes. Yeah, we won an 8 cuber with Thanos just before we switched over to viewer battles. And so Josh, that was a very fun game. It was a very close one. The Spider-Man lock in mid was huge. Definitely made sure that you won that location. You could focus your Thanos where you needed to. And so actually, let's go ahead and roll the next one. Hydra King. It looks like you are the next person that will face after this match. So if you're still here, if you will let me know, just type something in chat, and then we can go from there. And Sasuke, it's duel today, and I'm actually only going to do maybe 1 or 2 more because I do have a meeting coming up, and then I have a couple of other work requests that have come through that I need to address. And so they're doing a Lockjaw rotation as well. Let's see. We can move 1 card out of the hub. Oh no, we're not gonna move it over in Fisk Tower. We're smarter than that. We can do Magneto. That's gonna destroy their Lockjaw and their Thor, which I think seals the game for us. A meeting like you ever joined that in time. That's not the TLSG way. After being as late as we were yesterday, I have to make sure I'm on time today. Move left equals 5 brain. What's your day job? Yeah, I'm a data analyst. I'm in data analytics, so I create queries, pull different data and metrics, and I format them in a easily digestible way for the company's leaders. So we can use arrow to pull their cards over to the right. I think that seals in the win for us. We're gonna go ahead and play Time Stone just because, but I think we I think we just arrow to the left. Yeah, I think that's better than the rotation, right? Yeah, you're right. We'll go ahead and rotate our Time Stone just because we can rotate it. I don't think we have anything that would be bigger, but I do like the arrow to the left just in case. Arrow is overkill in Fisk. It's a little unfair. Fisk Tower, if you have arrow and Magneto, is always one of those that it's just unfair. The Fisk Tower animation is your favorite. Yeah. Oh, I feel bad about that one. I'm so sorry. It looks like Dins. Dins, you're the next viewer battle, and we'll make this one the last one. We do need to jump over and jump over back into work mode, and so we'll do another stream. We won't be able to tomorrow. I have to go in office tomorrow, but Friday we'll be live again. Two place. Very good game. The Fisk Tower location was very unfortunate. I feel bad about just the Fisk Tower being there at all. We'll never know what he played. That's one of the worst things about the Fisk Tower, is that you never really know what happened. So we may have frozen. Oh, no, there we go. So Dins, are you here? Are you around? Did your leaders also get nerfed? If so, oh yeah. Yeah, my leaders didn't get nerfed. They have just the same amount of power as they always did. Dins, are you here? All right, we'll roll it one more time. Captain Wiggin, are you here? The snap fan tracker will show what was destroyed. Oh, it does. So the snap fan tracker is broken on mine right now, because whenever you switch accounts, it kind of messes with it. Captain Wiggins? Hey, you're here. Perfect. Are you able to create a code and we'll jump in? We'll jump into a match together. Perfect. Is the tracker PC only? Seto, it is. Right now, I think both of the trackers are PC only. And so this will be the last battle of the stream. I'm not going to be live tomorrow. There will be a video tonight, and maybe we'll do a double release tomorrow if I have enough prep time to make it happen. Trackers work on Steam client. They do, MD. If I have enough time to make it happen, maybe we do a double release in place of the stream, and then from there we'll jump back in on Friday with another live stream. But we'll do this last viewer battle to wind it down, you guys. Dark Dimension's kind of unfortunate, because our cards won't reveal. And a lot of the stones, you want them to reveal to gain their power. I think we're gonna break the Superflow here. Ooh, so it looks like either a Patriot or a Silver Surfer build. And so this deck doesn't do phenomenally. Luckily, we both have filled up the Bar Sinister lane, so like he won't be able to get a quadruple Silver Surfer off. One day I'll have a match against the great TLSG. One day, gimme. I believe it. One day we will absolutely make it happen. Mint just looking at match history on the site. Oh, really? We need deck tier list and patch note videos from TLSG. That I thought about doing it yesterday, but I recorded and my audio was off. Like the sound just for whatever reason didn't come through. And I had the dentist appointment, and then I jumped back and we did the battle mode stream, and so I ended up not doing a patch note. There was only 2 adjustments anyways, and so I figured if I was going to skip one, it would be okay to do that one. When would you do your next live stream? On Friday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Should be around when we launch the next one. Or Cerebro 2, Soneka. I may have missed the first message there. Oh, that they're playing. I guess it still could be Cerebro 2, yeah? It's much more likely that it's a Patriot build or a Patriot / Silver Surfer now that they have this, but it could be Cerebro 2. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that? Oh no, it's 6. So unless we draw the stone, we won't get any value out of it. We may lose this last one. Captain Wiggins may send us packing. So the Silver Surfer would buff this up by 9, and so they'd be at max 9. If we skipped here, we could beat their power here, but then it would come down to if we won any of these other lanes, and I don't know that we do. Magneto could be a potential play line to the left. I don't think Thanos is. I don't think we've hit all 6 stones. I mean, if we were going to skip Thanos, or if we were going to skip, Magneto to the right is always more value. We're gonna try Magneto mid to pull some more cards over. Bichu, make sure to check your shop for Shadow King after the stream ends. Actually, we already got Shadow King. I just can't find a good way to use him. Like I haven't found the Super Scroll is an interesting one. In the Zabu Patriot Silver Surfer, I assume. Oh no! And then they're gonna have the quadruple trigger of their Surfer. Huge. Yeah, the Silver Surfer and Patriot with the Super Scroll for Flare. Absolutely gonna send us home packing. Captain Wiggins, very good battle. I can't say I like ending on a loss, but that was a very good matchup. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it very much. It was a very good, and you hit a pretty good draw order, and so very good power potential overall. Yeah, Super Scroll showing its value. I don't know that we would have won even without the Super Scroll, but it's nice of Flare, nice touch. Can you suggest a deck of Spider-Man? So there's a couple ways to build it. If you have Zabu, you can do Spider-Man, Absorbing Man, Moon Girl to like double down on it. Otherwise, you can use him in like a Professor X lockdown in a couple other ways. Captain Wiggins, no, I conceded. So we did the one match and you obliterated us. The way we've been doing the viewer matches is that it's just it's the best of one instead of doing the full battle mode. It's been the best of one, but that game was incredibly humbling. It was a very, very good game, Captain Wiggins. I didn't enjoy getting beaten, but I enjoyed just the overall fight. And so that is the last one of the stream. I do have to jump over into the meeting. I've missed 8 messages now and 2 calls. So it must be something pretty pressing. I'm going to jump back over into work and had you muted and turned around. I appreciate it, Captain Wiggins. You beat us fair and square. There was no way that I was going to beat that much power. But we are going to go ahead and end it here. I hope that you guys all enjoyed the stream. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Again, I'm not going to be live tomorrow. We will do video releases on both days. I'll be live again on Friday, so that we can do some more climbing, maybe some more viewer battles as well. I hope that you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. As always, this has been TLSG. Later, guys.